Welcome back. Will Worsham joins us now for this week's Speaking Legal discussion. Thank you so much for coming in.
Hey,
good
to see you.
Will. Nice
All
to
right,
see
we're
you.
going to talk about something that you may have seen or heard. Was it last week?
Yeah,
I mean, off and on, you see
Yeah.
this a lot. Okay, so here's the
Right.
question. I've posted the Facebook privacy disclaimer on my wall to protect my privacy on Facebook. Do I need to post something similar on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Pinterest as well, or is it only because Facebook is a public company? Now, I asked what I asked you before because I saw so many people cut and paste that message last week.
Yeah.
What does that even mean? I mean,
Nothing?
really?
Does it mean anything?
What it means is you have no idea what you're talking about and you're too lazy to run a Google search and find out.
Okay.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I said I was going to try not to offend anybody
No,
in
but
talking
it's
about this.
obvious.
But,
It's so obvious.
Yeah, it really is,
Yeah.
and it just drives me crazy to see this. And last week it was bad. I mean, it goes around like all these internet hoaxes thing do. They come in cycles, and then they'll go away for a year, and then they'll come back.
Yeah.
And this one came back again, and you may have seen it. It says, I think the latest iteration I've seen says something like, "Better safe than sorry." I'm hereby putting this on Facebook as notice that Facebook does not have my permission to share my pictures or use them in this in accordance with the Rome Statute and Uniform Commercial Code, UCC sections, whatever, that the intellectual property herein is mine and mine alone, whatever. It goes on and on and
Yeah.
on. And it's just absolute nonsense.
Is that an oxymoron, sort of? When you put your stuff out there, I mean...
You put your stuff out there, and then you say I can't share my stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
there's some really common sense things here. If you don't want it to be public, don't put it on the internet,
Exactly.
Facebook or otherwise.
Exactly.
So,
Right.
I mean, we're deviating from the question a little bit, but the idea is it doesn't do you any good to put it on Facebook,
Right.
let alone put it on Twitter and
Right.
Pinterest and Tumblr. Or
Just don't post your
Instagram.
stuff.
If you don't want it out there in the public, don't post it. But here, let's dig into this just a little bit because it's kind of amusing. The Rome Statute. The Rome Statute establishes international criminal courts. It has nothing to do with the internet, nothing to do with Facebook privacy or anything. It's just a fancy thing somebody saw when they wrote this to put it in there.
But it sounds so official.
Oh my
does,
goodness.
yeah.
And then we're going to quote the UCC, which is shorthand for the Uniform Commercial Code. The Uniform Commercial Code isn't even law. It was developed by a body of essentially law professors as suggested model code for commercial transactions that many states, if not all states, have adopted some portion of in order to talk about commercial property and business transactions. But once again, the Uniform Commercial Code in and of itself is not law. It's only law in the instance that some state or other governmental body has enacted a portion of it into its own statutes. So to cite it is absolutely ridiculous. It has absolutely no legal standing whatsoever. But once again, it sounds good. I'm quoting Uniform Commercial Code sections. Get beyond that. You can't unilaterally modify the terms of a contract anyway. That means one-sided. You can't. It's like going in to a car dealership and buying a car and signing off on the note and saying, I'm going to pay $500 a month for this car, and then posting on a window in your car that says, I'm only going to pay $50 a month for this
Right,
car. I'm just going to
exactly.
change it.
Yeah.
On my side, you agreed to certain terms of use for Facebook when you created the account. There was that big long list that says,
That
do you
no one
agree?
reads.
And you said, yeah, I agree. You can't come back later by posting on Facebook or anything else and say, no, I'm changing it.
No.
So, yeah, this
You
is
can't
just
make your own
absurd.
rules.
You can't change.
Yeah.
You can sort of change. There's a function called novation where you can unilaterally change a contract, but you have to provide consideration, which means something of additional value in exchange for changing the terms of the contract. But you're not doing that. That's not what this is. So even if these statutes and things might make sense, the whole process is absurd, and you just can't do it. And if you spend 5 seconds researching it on Google, you'd find that out instead of just blindly pasting copying and pasting.
Copying and pasting. Now, I saw some variations on it. I saw the thing about it's official. You're going to have to pay X amount of dollars to Facebook.
Right.
What was that even for? I don't remember because I saw it so many times I just kind of quit.
And like you said, there's been a lot of different things, and sometimes, yeah, I'm like you, I just don't even read it because you just know it's absurd. It's just not true. If Facebook was going to charge you, they would, but why would they? They're making millions off of the ads. There's no reason to charge for Facebook.
So what is the bottom? What is the lesson we take away from this? First of all, if you want to change your privacy settings and be private, you might just cancel your account or really dig into your privacy. Secondly, be careful what you cut and paste and throw out into the
Well,
world.
and that's
Right.
the other thing too. Facebook actually has some great privacy settings. If you take the time to dig into the settings of privacy and learn about it, you can really restrict who and what
Right.
can see and use and repost the stuff that you put out
And
there.
you were just saying really quickly, it's not so easy to do on a phone always that you want to be on the hard line.
It's
at
a
home.
lot easier to bring it up at facebook.com on
Right.
your web browser and look at it from that way. You got a little more control. It seems like, or at least easier access than you do on your phone.
Right.
Absolutely, I think you do.
All right.
Okay, if
Thank you, Will.
have
You're welcome.
a legal
Better
question
questions.
or
Yes.
something's bugging you,
Yeah.
you can email Will at
This bugs him.
wworsham@color10.com and he will answer your question on the show. Will, good to
Thank
see
you,
you.
Will.
Thank you.
Oh, I feel so much better. I feel like we vented. All right, coming up, this is going to be even better venting. Tina's here to talk about T's Redneck Steakhouse and the boozy little surprises they intend to bring to Bacon Fest. Don't go
All right.
away.